you again. One, two, phrase time for you. Leave for very long your 5, 6, grab your pizza, 7.
Welcome back, everybody, to my 31 Days of Halloween review series, and my third horror movie leading up to Halloween is A Quiet Place. First off, I want to start off by saying, wow, I did not think this movie would be as effective as it was. So the story to A Quiet Place is there is this family, this family is trapped in a world that has been overrun by monsters, and if you make a sound, because these monsters, they are drawn to sound, and if they hear you, they will scamper over to you and they will tear you apart. So let's first talk about what I liked in this movie. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, these two work great together. I dig their chemistry, I dig their characters, I dig their relationship. And the movie also has some kids in it, and when you have kids in a horror movie, it usually doesn't turn out that well, but these kids are great. One thing of the human body that we can't control is communication. We can only go for a very long time without talking. But if you talk in a quiet place, you are gone instantaneously. And this movie explores that. It illustrates that. This movie explores. It illustrates on how to survive without talking. Because the family in this movie, they have to use body language, sign language, emotions, and this is, I feel, based on life or death, in which the most intense of conversations, and it all happens through sign language, and it 100% works, because the movie illustrates how easy it is to make a sound. Like everywhere we go, everything we eat, everything we do, we make a sound. Like the footsteps that we make when we walk, like the bite of the food that we eat, like everything we do, we make a sound. So it's very hard to live in this environment where you can't talk, and that's why I felt like this movie was it was challenging. It was very hard to really battle those human emotions on not talking. And I feel like the movie, it illustrates it very well, because it's not easy. It's not easy to talk. Basically, everything we do, like when we walk, because when we walk, the footsteps that we make, when we eat food, the bite of the food, like the crunch of the food, and when we use our lips to talk. So it's very hard not to make sound. But this family has survived, I think it was 397 days without a sound, and it's what this, like the way this movie, it illustrates not talking. It 100% works perfectly. And I want to quickly mention the creature in this movie, because this is a vicious, feral monster that is attracted to sound. If you speak, it will scamper over to you and tear you apart. And another thing I really loved about the monster in this movie is the texture of its skin, and the creature is just gross. It is gross. Looking at it when it opens its face. I'm not even sure if I'm not even sure if that's its mouth or face, because it opens its so I'm not even sure if it's a face or mouth, but it opens, and it just Place is a masterful addition to the horror genre. It has some suspensefully crafted set pieces, and with marvelous acting by Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, a great concept, great story. It battles with human emotions, and if you haven't seen it, it's on DVD right now. It only came on DVD a couple months ago, or you can rent it on Amazon Video. The point is, you should definitely check this out. It should definitely be on your watch list for this upcoming Halloween. So that's why my rating for A Quiet Place is monster-tastic. That's why I'm doing Halloween ratings now, because it's Halloween month, So why not do some Halloween ratings? It's always fun, and it's something new I want to do in this channel because it's Halloween. It's a special time. It's a special time of the year. So I thought why not do some Halloween-esque ratings. So yeah, for A Quiet Place, it is monster-tastic, and yeah, it's a monster movie. But even though it's more of a thriller than a horror, it definitely does have some horror and some gory themes in it for sure. But anyways, so let me know down in the comments. Have you seen A Quiet Place? What did you think of it? So anyways, guys, I hope you have a good Halloween, and I'll see you in the next spooky-tacular movie review. When I was editing this review, I thought this was an important piece of information to explain how more effective this movie was. Because when I was watching this, from the moment it started, I had my mouth shut, and I was afraid to open my bag of chips. And throughout this movie, I was afraid to make a movement or speak. And after this movie, I went outside and I screamed as loud as I possibly could. As I screamed at the top of my lungs, and just because I wanted to get that quietness out of my system. And that's one thing that this movie like illustrates so well is being quiet. It's a hard thing for human beings to do, because if I found it easy to be quiet, I wouldn't have to do that. I wouldn't have to go outside and scream at the top of my lungs. I wouldn't have to do that. But just yeah, now I just really because ever since this part of the like reviews recorded a couple of days after like when I'm in the editing process of my Quiet Place review, like this, it's very hard to be quiet. That's how effective this movie was. Is I could not be quiet for 397 days for as long as this family did in this movie, and the movie it did a great job really illustrating that. And I'm not surprised if A Quiet Place will not win an Oscar at the end of the year because of because of how effective it was and how great the direction, the story, the concept, the characters are, and this family's like chemistry, like between like the two, like between like the between the father and the mother and the two kids, and just like the whole family. And I think ever since like in the review, I didn't tell you my dislikes. I thought now would be a great time. As far as my dislikes go, there are some extra characters in this movie, which I thought maybe the movie could have explained like how they would have like survived this long, and how where they got all their food and water from. And I'm not talking about like the main family that this movie focuses on, but it's just like extra characters in this movie. And other people there's other people alive, because there's this one sincere spoiler alert here, but I'm assuming everybody watching this review has already seen it. But there's this one review when John Krasinski's character he lits he lits a like a fire, and then the people who are still alive, they light a fire as well, and you see it like just in the area they're in. It's just the area that they are in. Sorry, but it's yeah. So yeah, there's other people alive, but the movie it doesn't explore how like that group of people are still alive, and you don't know how the rest of the world is going either. And I thought the movie it could spend at least 20, 15 minutes maybe focusing on how the outside world is going, and not just focusing on his family. But I felt like for what happened in this movie, I mean it was fine. So but yeah, besides that, really no complaints. This is as perfect as a home movie can get. It's definitely a lot better than Slenderman this year. It's a lot better than Insidious: The Last Key. So it's a lot better than some other home movies we have got this year. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say.